Greetings, I'm Hondo, and this is my review of the Electrofoods Eye of Ra. Let's check it out. Let's jump right into how the pedal sounds. My single chain for today is going to be my Serek Lincoln, as usual, into my Trickfish 0.5K bullhead, into my Apollo X8 with no effects and no preamps and none of that stuff, straight into Ableton. Now that you've heard the pedal, let's go over the build and the controls. Build-wise, there's not too much to say. It's built very well, and it doesn't feel like it's going to be falling apart anytime soon. All the knobs are really smooth, and they're not loose, and I think this will survive your pedal board if you ever get back to gigging. Controls-wise, there's 6 knobs on here outside of the level, so why don't we go through each one so I can tell you what they do. Starting over on the left, you have a 3-band EQ with treble, mid, and bass. Then in the middle you have a level control, which controls the overall volume of the pedal. Then down at the bottom on the right you have gain 1, which is before the focus, and gain 2. So gain 1 will give you the biggest increase in volume, and this one gives you some pretty nasty overdrive sounds. Then the focus knob is a tilt EQ, so all the way on the right it's more treble and less bass, and then on the left it's vice versa. And then on the top is gain 2, which is a asymmetrical LED clipping, which helps you get some pretty gnarly sounds, as you heard earlier. So as far as my impressions of the pedal go, I bought this pedal back in 2019 before everything went to shit. And I've been on several different recording sessions and jam sessions, and this pedal has been one of my kind of go-tos for getting different tones when either, you know, I'm trying to inspire myself to write a riff, or if somebody's asking for a particularly like nasty or dirty type of tone. This pedal comes through basically every time. The EQ section on the left is one of those types of EQs where you can turn the knobs all the way up or all the way down, and it's never really going to sound bad. It's just going to sound different, which I really like. And it makes your bass kind of sound like that's just how it sounds, as opposed to it sounding like really EQ'd and like plasticky, like some types of different pedals can make your bass sound. If you end up getting this pedal, make sure you really spend some time with it, because this is one of those types of pedals where you find the sounds through experimentation and through specific combinations of settings. For instance, in one of the sound clips that I did, I think it was the grinding stone one, using the EQ to kind of cut some mids while using the focus to kind of tilt the EQ up towards the treble side, gets you like a really nice grindy tone. And then if you kind of do the opposite, you can get something that's on the other end of the spectrum, but it's not just like a turn one knob up and down or just turn a tone knob up and down. There's a little bit of work in it, but the amount of tones that you can get out of this are totally worth it. And speaking of the focus knob, I'm typically not a fan of the tilt EQ type of focus knob, which this is. Like I mentioned in the control section, when you turn this all the way up to the right, you know, you get a lot more treble and a lot less bass. But it's cool because the mids and the bass in the EQ section can make up for the bass that you lose, and you end up getting a tone that's kind of just shifted up into the upper mid range, so you just get some more grind and more edge out of it without ending up with like a nasty tinny type of sound. So even though I normally don't like knobs like this one's pretty cool. As far as the gains are concerned, gain number 1 is just filthy to me. It's fantastic. That one's got lots of attack and like bite on it. And then gain number 2 feels like a little bit more of a smoother type of drive. I found myself using gain number 2 a lot when I want to just have some drive, but I want mostly the sound of my bass to come through. And then I use gain number 1 when I want to get some real dirt on the tone. But there's a infinite combination of different settings you can use with these two. So if you do get this pedal, which I definitely recommend, really take some time and experiment. Really take some time and experiment with them, because there's a lot of tones to be found in here. So since this pedal is so versatile, I combined it with a bunch of different things. Basically anything I combined it with, it sounded good. But just for this video, I combined it with my Fender Jazz, my brand new Dingwall that I just got, my Sandberg 48, my Horrothia Type One chorus, which is a pedal that I just got that instantaneously became my favorite chorus. That pedal is sick, and I got a review coming to that pretty soon. And I also combined this with my MAE Black Math, which I have a review for already. I'll put it up in the corner up here somewhere. That pedal is super sick. It's massive, you'll hear it. And it blended really well with the Eye of Ra. And lastly, I combined it with my Skitter from Champion Leccy, and also my Reverb from Empress effects. And I actually ran that stereo, and that ended up sounding just insane. Check it out. Let me know what you think. So that's about it. Long story short, this pedal sounds awesome. It is very flexible. It works with multiple types of basses, and it plays well with other effects. So if you liked any of the tones you got here, go ahead and take the plunge on this one. I guarantee if you spend some time with it, you're gonna find some sounds you really like. Speaking of liking things, if you like the video, please do hit that thumbs up and the notification bell and the subscribe button so you can be up to date on all the new stuff that's coming out. I have some pretty cool collaborations coming up and some more reviews like I mentioned in this video, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun times, so I hope you stick around. Despite all the nonsense that's happening, I hope you're staying healthy and staying happy, and I also hope to see you in the next video. Take it easy.